Hello, Sabrina.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for doing this with us. It's a really pleasure.
Yes.
Can you start by introducing yourself?
Sure. What can I say about myself? How many time do you have?
Whoa.
No, just in few words. I've worked. I'm 39. I've worked almost 17 years in the cosmetic luxury industry on many jobs. Operations, marketing, finance in some way, IT, data, AI in some big companies like L'Oreal, Shiseido, Chanel. And I recently decided to set up my own company because I was really interested and also involved in the subject of intellectually gifted people.
Yeah.
And it was very important for me to set up something to drive their how can I say that, their singularity, because the name of my company is Singularity, but it is not.
Yeah.
It's been done purposely because I have how can I say that, I have realized during my career that these people had a great talent,
Yeah.
and some of them were suffering, some of them were under-evaluated or underused, if I can say that.
Yeah.
And I felt that was really a pity that these great talents could not find their own space in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And what happened is that I am intellectually gifted myself,
Yeah.
so I can understand them, and I managed to adapt.
Yeah.
It was not easy, to be honest, in major companies to adapt to the organization, to the mindset, and so on, when you have a singular way of thinking. But what I feel is that these people are really change makers because they always think differently, they are really authentic, they work with passion, involvement. They are not politicians at all.
Yeah.
So they are working very hard on what they're doing. So in these times of disruption, in these times of uncertainty, I felt that it was important to reveal their talent to company, to help organizations understand and also develop this talent, because I am convinced that it will provide a huge value, and mainly when it comes to disruption and to doing things differently and transforming organizations.
Out of the box. In a way.
Exactly. You cannot transform an organization with the mindset that created it. So that's my point.
Okay, very interesting one. And how do you identify the singular person, people who are singular, let's say?
Oh, I had them in my network.
Okay.
Because during all my career, I was able to identify them, so I could keep them
Close.
very close, yes. And also, I am part of a community of gifted people, so I work with them and develop them, and so this is how I raise.
Okay, so you have your network with singular people,
yes.
and
but I'm always open, of course, on meeting and, of course, opening to new people and new singular people, of course.
And
can you explain a little bit more what an intellectual gifted person is and how he functions differently, like you said, for example, in a corporate world, for example?
I would say the basic definition, which is not my favorite, to be honest, is IQ superior to 130.
Yeah.
Okay, so intellectuals, you make a test, you have your IQ and so on. So
what is your definition?
So this is a way we know that these people that have this IQ, basically they are thinking differently. They are singular because it represents 2% of the population. So you know that this part of the population is kind of mindset that is different. But my point is really people that are thinking out of the box, that have this inner energy about driving new things, imagining new things, creating. So this is, I would say, the right hand of the brain, you know, because this is where the creativity leads. And these people have either their the right hand of their brand that is highly developed, but also left. Sorry, sorry. So the left part of the brand that is more analytical, that is more logical,
Yes.
and so for me, these singular people are a kind of perfect balance between both of them, because you either need the left part of your brand to understand your environment, to analyze it, to know the opportunities, to have a very pragmatic approach, but also the right part to create, imagine new solutions, new ways of doing. So this is, and generally when you are like that, you are bringing something really creative to the part, and most of the time people like logical things, like okay, you have analyzed it, you have figures, we are really
very structured,
exactly, and we miss this part. We miss the creative part of the job, and for me the singular people are the perfect balance between both.
Okay.
So they are driving change. They have to, because they cannot just analyze and keep things going like they were. They're just always thinking, moving forward and trying to create. Once they've analyzed, finding the pain points, then starting to imagine, and the will. This is very important. We were talking about energy because before starting, about this inner power that you may have in the way you're driving things, or your business if you're an entrepreneur or within companies, and you need to have also this energy of moving forward and transforming. So this is for me the singular people, and are for me really key in today's world.
Absolutely. So what are the main difficulties? I understood that the biggest difficulty is not accepting the creative part from an intellectual gifted person, right? Is this the biggest difficulty, or are there other difficulties that you've had and other people?
They are what I feel the toughest thing for them is their high level of empathy. This is the human part, in fact, because they are really sensitive. They have what we call in French hyperesthesie. I don't know the word in English, but they can feel. They have their senses that are really highly developed. So they're like a Wi-Fi, of emotion. So they just try attracting all what's in their environment. So this is great, because then you catch a lot of information.
Exactly.
But the tough part is about analyzing and trying to make all this information, try to do something relevant with it. And sometimes they are over-experiencing their emotions, and they are, I would say, their emotions are too strong.
Deal with
exactly.
So
with their
emotions are amplified compared to
completely. So that's one of the top thing. And the other thing is that they're creating solutions, and they have a different mindset. So it often happens that they are proposing solutions, and then the organizations or people say no, it's just crazy what you're proposing. This is not a good way of doing, because they're really thinking out of the box, so they can really raise new and really innovative ideas, but sometimes it can hurt people that can be scared by that.
Do you think this kind of reaction kills the creativity that they have, or make them actually sad and not really good?
Depending on their level of maturity, but what often happens is that they kind of create a protection. So they build that protection around them, that okay, I know that my ideas won't be understood, I know I won't be understood, and it's too, as I said, as they have too many emotions and they're hypersensitive, they will build this protection to protect themselves from their environment, because for some of them they can suffer. Some others, they just understand their environment. They say, okay, this environment, no new ideas. Okay, I get it. I don't propose ideas. I keep it for me, so that's fine. They are adapted to their environment. But some others, depending on the level of maturity and also self-development, they can be really hurt by this behavior.
And do you think that as a society we lose the outcome of such creative minds when we try to put them in the box and force them to adapt to the way the corporate works actually.
Absolutely.
And this is why you step in. And,
Yes, exactly.
okay.
I think we are killing creativity by doing that and killing their potential. And I think that's really a pity because they can bring a lot, really.
Can they stop? Like even if they, let's say they did adapt to the corporate world and they know they don't share enough, they don't need to share anymore their idea because it will not be accepted. But will they stop doing the analysis and the creative mind in their head? No,
It never ends.
never ends. Yeah. So,
It never ends. What happens in their
Yeah,
mind?
yeah.
They keep going. But some, as I said, depending on the level of maturity, they can decide where they will put their energy.
Okay.
So some of them, they can just bring all their energy to the work, to their job, and not be understood and kind of suffer.
Yeah.
Some others can say, okay, I will do a job that won't ask me too much, and I will do it, and I will concentrate my energy on other things, family,
Okay.
gardening,
Passion.
or so on,
Yeah.
other passions.
Yeah.
So it depends, as I said, on their will also and level of maturity. But for organizations, I think that's really a pity to miss
For
these
sure.
talents.
for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what are the solutions you try to give? Like, I know you won't be able to explain it like thoroughly, but let's try to let's have like one or two main solutions to this kind of situation. Also.
I think that my point is about raising awareness
Okay.
about these talents. Is really fighting for their inclusion and diversity, because I think that they cannot be the only, I would say, profile in organizations, but we need some. Every organization, if brings one in one team, it's a treasure,
Yeah.
and it completes the talents of other people. So I think that it's my point is about raising awareness, trying to identify and helping them develop in their way. So I have two, I would say, main objectives. One is corporations, organization, raise awareness, work on diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
And on the other side is about coaching and make these people understand that they should not hide
Hide.
themselves. They should not
Oh,
kill
yeah,
their
this is beautiful.
creativity.
Yeah, really.
And they should, even if it's not easy, because the society and we are not in a society that
Will
I would
accept
say
difference.
accepts the difference, and it's always strange to have someone different
Yeah.
in nowadays. I think in 10 years, it will be different, but
Yeah.
today it's still weird to be
Isn't
different.
it better than before? You know, they're
Yeah.
trying to be like more into diversity and to tolerance with everything that's happening with Black people and LGBT and everything. We feel like the world is getting more and more aware of the differences and trying to be, let's say, acceptant and tolerant with
Sure.
that, right?
Sure.
So I think.
But the question is it enough? That's
I guess there's still work to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, that's work to do. But in every subject related to inclusion and diversity, I think it's a two-side subject.
Yeah.
I think that the society has to work on accepting the difference, but also the people have also, because most of the times they're hiding because of that. So the more you will have these people accepting their difference, so like revealing it to the world, the more the companies, the people, the society will be used to this difference and will understand that and will have a vision of this difference that is more positive. Because I think it's a two-side job.
Absolutely.
It's not always only companies don't hire these people, they are racist, they're not blah blah blah. It's always a two-side job. But I agree with you, this is the perfect time for that.
Yeah.
So how did the idea come up to you? Like how did you work in a company and the office and you said, I think there is something here special?
Yes, more or less. This idea came to my mind because I hired a guy. He was brilliant, really. He was doing a great job. He was really cute. He was smart. He was lovely. When I say lovely, very human oriented.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can do that, and I could feel that he had a great heart, and also he was really brilliant. But he had this protection around him. So when he was facing the people in the company, he was always trying to protect himself, giving the minimum of sensitivity, trying to be oriented of the job and the missions, and okay, I have to do that. And the people told me, you need to fire this guy.
Oh.
And I was shocked because they said, we are not going to work with him. And I was really shocked because he was doing a great job. It was a technical job, and either technical and business. He was great. And they said, no, this guy, it's difficult we can't feel anything. He's cold, he's that, blah, blah. And what I was seeing, the talent of this guy, nobody that was working with him could see
detected.
that. And so I just tried to make a balance, saying, okay, what's the point? How can we help? How can we do? I ensure that he's doing a great job. Let's do a test, give him a chance. So I tried to make things, I would say, match between them. And I was coaching the guy on one side, saying, okay, be careful when you do that. They feel you are cold, so please try and open up a little bit more, show a bit more of yourself, about who you are. And on the other side, I was telling them, okay, give him a chance, give him a job, a mission he will do, and let's assess him on his missions, and not on the feeling that you have that he's cold.
Did he tell you? Did he explain why he acted that way? Since you were coaching him, did you have that?
He told me it was.
You sort of understood.
He was young.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
He was young. So he was not aware of that, even from himself.
Okay.
So
but you understood that.
Yeah, because I saw his value and his talent. I saw the way the job he was doing, and I could see that he was a lovely guy. So how can you be cold when you are so, I would say, warm on the inside? And the way I was working with him allowed him to open up a little bit. But on the people, he was not. He didn't trust, or he didn't know he was closing himself. So. So step by step, giving him a mission, trying to make everyone aware of any other difference. And I was telling him, they want you to open up a little bit, because they're opening up to you, they're telling you these things, so you're trying to protect yourself. There's no danger in this situation. Okay, give the best of yourself. So it was a step-by-step approach. And at the end of the day, when I did that, and I said, okay, I won't give up, because I know he's brilliant. I cannot give up. And at the end of the day, I had my internal clients, if I can speak like that. They came to say to me, and they told me he's great, and we apologize for what he said.
Nice.
What he said.
It was an accomplishment.
Yeah. So it was, and I was like, okay, they just misunderstood each other. Yes. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. The only thing, And when you try and find the bridges, you try to create some bridges between both. It's magic. And they told me, really, they didn't want him at the end of the day. They didn't want him to leave. So they were like, okay, we want to work with him. He's great. He's doing this job, blah, blah, blah. So I understood. I said, that could have been really a big waste, honestly. And by having this awareness, we made it something successful. So it started, and I had experienced that myself, because I was protecting myself when I was younger, also doing the same. And I understood that if you don't open up to others, how can they come to you? So then it's not the good approach to have. So I made this myself, and I said, okay, if we do that with him, it can work. Yeah. And it worked.
And it worked.
So this is why I said, and I am really convinced that they have to find their place in the companies, the world, society, everything. I think that they are bringing such a big value. So it came to me, and the idea rose, and it became bigger and bigger, and then it became obvious.
Yes.